Hello everyone, video number 2 for the drawing of the photograph, courtesy Sam, who sent us this picture. So there's a guy in a puffer jacket and green flannel pants, shirt and a cable sweater. So again, I'm going to look at him on the screen and you're going to look at what I'm drawing. So here we go. Again, I have same printer paper, Derwent sketching, pencil medium wash 4B, eraser, should I need one? And it's kind of dull. The pencil is dull, it's not sharpened really to be sharp. At this point it has to have soft lines. So I'm gonna hold it like this, the pencil. And here we go. So he's standing straight forward. So I'm going to find his head, middle of the page. I'm going to find his shoulders. I'm just making little marks on the paper. So just positioning, and his hips probably, so compared to the shoulders, hips will be on the narrow side, so they will be coming in. So these are farther apart, they coming more narrow to here. And then I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna make a little cloud because his pelvis is straight across, there's no tilt, he's standing on both legs equally, so I'm not gonna have any tilt in the hips, so it's gonna be up and down more or less. This is what I have on the page so far. Then I'm gonna drop his legs down halfway to the knee. Let's see. So I'm eyeballing it. I'm not calculating anything precisely, right? So I'm saying head is approximately there, shoulders are approximately there, hips is approximately in the middle of the page. And then from that middle of the page, halfway down, where I find his knees, and then another drop which will be slightly longer than the femur part of his bone, which is opposite of what naturally is happening in the human figure, because this part is longer than this. But for the fashion figure, I'm elongating the part from the knee down. So I'm dropping his legs, so they're about that much apart, I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna weigh it down with a little shadow for the shoes. So you see what I have? It's kind of silly looking, but we're going to put some meat on these bones. So here we have, what you need to do, you need to define the shape, since we're already drawing closed figure. You don't want to get too much into anatomy, you just want a general positioning of where everything is, right? So his arms are hanging relaxed alongside his body, something like that. Now I'm going to say that his hands are around his crotch level, past his hips, whatever I drew for the hips. Right, so then I'm going to try and maybe shadow over the volume of his pants, like where it starts, to help myself put him on a page. Like so. And then I'm going to do this jacket. So the jacket collar is up, like this, and then it comes in and it's open, and I'm going to say it ends right around his cuff. So his cuff ends kind of like at the end of the hem of the jacket. So this helps me positioning again. And then I'm gonna make a rounder line for the arms, for the sleeves, and then come back to the collar, and so it opens up a little bit towards the bottom, right? And then the shoulder hides behind the collar. Right? Now his sweater ends somewhere before his jacket ends, and this is his pants. So I could see the J stitch, which is the fly stitch, right? So it's somewhere here. I'm gonna draw a little line there, and then you could start building the fabric shadows here. There is a lot of buckling going around the knee. See, I made a mess already. You want to shadow here. You want to shadow here. You probably want to creases where his elbows are. Then his head, I'm gonna say it ends here, roughly, and then start his neck a little bit, and then you're gonna have to draw color. There's a collar, and then his sweater, and the rib of the sweater, and then there's some kind of cable in there. I'm just gonna say it's like this, but it's not, but yeah, that's details. And there's a rib here, and there's a little bit of a detail to the cuff, right? And then you could draw little bubbles, almost like for the gathering of the fabric, and then drag lines and bubbles here and there. His satin sleeve, so I'm going to say that by drawing these lines. Then he has pockets. They point into the armhole, so roughly there. They should be on the same level. If you're drawing symmetrical details, make sure they are looking symmetrical on sketch, because otherwise you'll be in trouble. And there is a buttons, no, snaps, and there is a snaps down center front. You have to count how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 from the bottom right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 there, and then the other side should be corresponding. Right, here's a jacket, then pant. So for hands, I just go it's kind of like a trapeze, and then it tapers in, and then you add a thumb, and that's all you really need. You don't need this line, right? So same here, one kind of a trapeze out, then tapers in at the thumb, and it's kind of looks like a relaxed hand. Then I'm gonna start doing his pants. They narrow pants with the crease. So the crease starts around here. It usually relaxes, or it could continue all the way up. So then you want to define how is it around the calves. And then it's getting even narrower towards the foot, right? So it collapses closer to the knee, then it comes out around the calf, and then it goes in again. So you kind of have to find, so the lines are not completely arbitrary, they follow the shape. And then the shoes have this kind of a loafer with the big buckle. And a thick sole. So something like that. You could go more into details of how they're constructed, because they come out here and there's something like that going on. It wraps around his foot. And so this part is darker, this part is darker. And then you could draw the stitching or however much details you want in there. And then you want to articulate the knees a little bit with some additional folds and a few more buckles here in the fabric, but not too many, don't go crazy. This should be one substantial area of shadow past the knee or at the knee, right? Then you have this shadow in the crotch area, and then there is a little bit of a shadow that goes between the legs. There's usually more shadow and darkness on the between the legs. So there we have it. And then under the collar here you could see bigger shadow. You could shade it all around here to give it more dimension, and that whole side past the crease is in the shadow. Things behind his neck are in the shadow. This is in the shadow. Right, there is you could detail this work a little more, so there's a placket that goes this way. Right, so yeah, get into detail. Placket, there is a D-ring here. And again, you could draw the drag lines and creases and folds as you go. And there is a tab on this side. You could draw piping here with a thinner pencil. That's what I have so far. And then last but not least, you want to draw his head. So chin angle off to the, I'm gonna switch to maybe, or maybe not. So chin, jaw, coming to the ear. Same thing on the other side, ear, jaw, chin, neck. I'm gonna say shadow. Then I'm gonna define his cheekbones and also put a shadow on one side, and his hair is parted here. Maybe a little higher. Few hairs, again nothing too crazy. And then you could draw his mouth. So what I do like a little shadow for the mouth and a little shadow for where his eyes should be, and that helps me see his face before I get into too much detail, right? There's a shadow under his nose, there's a shadow past his lower lip, maybe a side of his forehead. And then you could go with you could take a thinner pencil. Again, this is soft. And then you could go and draw the eye and nostrils and the lip. Inside that shadow you could find a good spot to put the lips, and underneath the lips, and he has kind of big puffy lips. And I don't know if you need like a chin. Bigger jawline. And higher cheekbones and the ear. Thicker eyebrows. There's a guy. It's not a portrait, it's just a face, right? And you kind of want a generic looking face on your fashion illustration. You don't want to be portrait because it's distracting. Yeah, and so you could continue with details. Try to draw that line that indicates the zipper on the side, because it buckles a little bit. Right? This is the underdrawing, good detail amount. So from here you could start tracing it on a clean paper, making it prettier or looser or tighter, however you want it. This is the information that you want to have from your photograph or from your model. All right, thanks. Bye.